Hello everyone, can you see me well? It's kind of weird for me. It is good to see you through this video. Due to COVID-19, we are meeting digitally. I hope you stay healthy and have some good family time. I'm supposed to preach the Gospel of John throughout the Lent season. However, while having reflection by myself, I decided to preach Psalm 23. I want to ask you, do you prepare enough food in your refrigerator? Now we are experiencing a time of panic and crisis. Last week, when I went to Omaha with YJ, there was a long line before Trader Joe's. If you go to Walmart now or to the grocery market, they have no toilet paper and frozen food. If you need some toilet paper, please ask me. I'm willing to share it with you. From media, you may hear and see that stock market and S&P 500 or Dow Jones have dropped down with crazy speed. And I asked some people, have you ever experienced this kind of similar thing before? Like shutting down school and church? Everybody said, no. And the World Health Organization, WHO, and the US government, they proclaimed it is pandemic. And college students are coming back from their university, and they will not have any graduation ceremony this year. It is kind of new history. We can sum up the time as a time of anxiety and uncertainty. But it is not something new. I want to say that Ulrich Beck is a well-known German sociologist, and he already defined the current society as risk society. In this society, anxiety and dangerous situation increase, and people give less respect to one another and each other and become more selfish, like buying all the stuff from the market, and we see this part of risk society. My worry is, even after the coronavirus, COVID-19, we continue to have this symptom, less respect and selfishness. Against that stream, what kind of virtues and attitudes we need as a Christian? I want to find the answer with you today by reading Psalm 23. It is a short prayer. Let's read Psalm 23 with your voice. Please open your mouth.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in right paths, for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long.
Thank you. Psalm 23 is really famous and straightforward. The psalmist confesses happiness and joyfulness in God and God's presence. Here, God is described as a shepherd. Shepherd has many images, but most importantly, the image of protection from wild animals and guidance. Lambs and cattle, they do not know where they are going, but rely on the guidance of their shepherd. But I'm really wondering, did the psalmist have no needs at all? Did he have no problems? If he had no problems in his life, it is not realistic. We can't learn something new from his life. Perhaps I believe that he had the same anxiety we have now. He had the same concerns we have now. Despite the problems and anxiety, he confessed that the Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. I believe that it is possible because of his faith in God. After the Exodus event, Hebrew people went to the wilderness and stayed there over for 40 years. If you were one of the Hebrew people there, how would you feel? Perhaps they might have experienced the same anxiety and uncertainty. They had no refrigerator to store up frozen food. Even they didn't have enough water in the wilderness. At night, they had a super cold temperature. And during the day, it was really hot. After 40 years, they confess like this in Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 7. Surely the Lord your God has blessed you in all your undertakings. He knows you're going through this great wilderness, these 40 years. The Lord your God has been with you. You have lacked nothing. The Hebrew people confess that after all of this experience in the wilderness, they have lacked nothing. Did they have really no needs in the wilderness? Perhaps not. They needed a lot of things. They needed to have toilet paper, and they needed food, and they needed water. They needed shelter in the wilderness. I believe that they needed more than what they need right now. However, they eventually confessed that they have lacked nothing. It is unbelievable. Why was it possible? We need to read before the sentence. These 40 years the Lord your God has been with you. Then you have lacked nothing. It was the same for the psalmist. He needed so many things, but he knew that the Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. If you put your trust in God, and if you believe in God, and God is with you, you have a strong column inside of your heart, and it holds you firmly. After going through all crises, you may confess like the psalmist, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and staff, they comfort me. I already shared my personal experience in McCool for evening service. While I was studying at Perkins School of Theology, my seminary, one time I only had $3 in my checking account. I had no credit card at the time, but I had to buy food and water. I had to fill a gas tank for my car. I needed so many things. I was in a panic. However, as I remember now, it was a good time to pray to God. I prayed like this: "Oh Lord, I need your help. I need your guidance." God helped me through many and mysterious ways. One church member gave me $100 at the time and said to me, "Please use this money and fill the gas for your car." But I didn't tell my situation to anybody. It is just my personal experience that God answered me. In the panic time, God helped me, and I confess, "The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want." In the risk society, God still calls the faithful people to help each other and respect one another. Sometimes we need to intentionally remember what God has done for our lives and how God saved us. In various and mysterious ways, God has done for us, and God is still doing good things for our lives. Please remember, God is with you. I want to share a picture with you to conclude my story. The picture's name is The Power of Stepping Away. It makes sense now. Because of COVID-19, we are so confused and become more nervous. We need to stop and step away a little bit. The best way to step away is to remember who God is for you and remember what God has done for you. Then you have the peace in your heart not to panic. I'm not saying that it'll stop soon. It'll be here for a while. But in the panic time, I want to encourage you to have peace from God and help people who are in need. God still works through faithful people who remember God's grace. And finally, I want to ask you to rely on your shepherd. Again, if you need toilet paper, please let me know. I have this. I can give it to you. I didn't use it. Thank you. Let us pray.